Hi, my name is Willows.
And my name is Tyler.
And welcome to Alcohol Beyond This Point. It's the podcast where we debate things sober and then drunk and then try to see if we come to the same conclusion.
And today?
Today we have some drinky drinks. We're doing a lot of craft beer today, mainly. Craft beer, craft...
We have everything, actually.
Actually, it's pretty much all local.
And for those on video, we're getting wiser. We brought a pitcher of water because we have to be up early tomorrow.
Yeah, we both have to be up early tomorrow, and he was like, man, I don't know if we can do a podcast. I'm fucking hungover every single time we do one of these. And then he's like, actually, I'll just drink water because we're not going to not drink.
Right. Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Sarah. We're coming to you from probably echoey studio. We're working on it. Bear with us. Camera quality's better though. I know that was the thing that none of you wanted, but I upgraded phones recently, so
here we are.
So we have a better phone, camera. But I think we're kind of thinking about splitting the cost on some shitty mics, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just some SM58, some hangers, and the box. It's the box and the wires and all this stuff that really adds up.
Yeah, yeah.
The mics themselves are not too bad.
Yeah.
A few $100 in your podcaster.
Yeah, so I think we should go that. I think we should also crack some beers. So
yeah,
I'm gonna take my my. Remember, he was like, okay, so for those of you not watching the video on YouTube, I have like a sketchy unmarked can with like a temporary label on it. It's because my friend Andrew, shout out Sucrums, has a brewery and he does like super small batch stuff. So I'm always able to get my hands on it. So this is one of his small batch Blood Orange Goza. It's a sour made with blood oranges. So
wonderful.
That's what I'm cracking today.
Are we hitting shot segment right away?
You want to do it first?
Well, I'll get my other. I want this one.
Okay. We're both drinking Sucrums today.
Yeah, Sucrums, Desert Island. This is the Hoppy Tropical IPA. Which fails. Yeah.
Cheers.
It's good. Yeah, when he says we're working on getting a better studio, what he really means is we've done absolutely nothing.
I've worked on stuff on Amazon.
Right? No, what we've been working on is everything.
Everything.
Literally everything, but we literally put in the kitchen sink was ahead of.
Like literally.
Yeah, literally the sink.
So we may as well, because we're gonna hate ourselves, we may as well get this over with as fast as possible. Welcome to the segment that we like to call Shot Time. It's where you, the audience, get to pick shot that you.
Not shot time. We're gonna call it shot caller.
Shot caller.
Yeah.
Welcome to the segment called Shot Caller.
Yeah, you know what shot caller is?
We never went over this.
It's fine.
Okay.
Right now, shot caller.
All right.
I said you call the shots. You're in charge. You, the fans, are the shot callers. You call the shots. We fucking take them.
I love it. That's the smartest thing you've said today.
Thank you.
Okay. Welcome to the segment we like to call Shot Caller, where you, the audience, gets to pick the shot that me and Tyler take on the show. And because none of you did, we are drinking the same old Appleton Estate rum. That is,
the back of the cupboard rum.
The back of the cupboard, in the back of my cupboard. So shout out Appleton Estate for sponsoring this video. Let's just fucking do it. Honestly, went down pretty smoothly.
Could have been worse.
Yeah. Usually I have trouble with the first shot of the night, but that wasn't that bad.
Can we talk about vodka tasting we had the other day?
Can we talk about that? I think we talked about it yesterday because we were drinking them on the podcast last episode.
Oh yeah.
So this is going to come out in a couple weeks, so yeah, we can talk about it. My winery is just making an in-house vodka. We're not bottling it or anything, but we're just making an in-house one to use in my bar so I can like make better cocktails and stuff. And what did you want to What do you want to talk
It
about?
was smooth.
Which, out of like a shitty $600 still,
Like,
and my partner who's never distilled
yeah,
professionally.
we're over here. Everybody's telling us you need years of experience to distill smooth vodka, and he's like, first shot on a home.
No, it's not quite a home still.
It's a large.
Well, you can't distill at home legally.
Yeah, well, y'all know what I'm saying. It's not commercial sized.
No.
Not by any stretch.
No.
Like, you're talking hours and hours for like a few liters of vodka.
Yeah, it was like 18 hours for like 5 liters or something.
Yeah, so, that for scale. And it actually came out probably about as smooth as a $35-$40 bottle.
It was bad, but I don't drink vodka though.
You don't drink vodka. I don't like vodka either, but it was
I love you don't drink vodka. I don't like vodka.
true. No, it was
So we didn't really. This is like one of the first podcasts we've done where we didn't have a fucking plan at all. So
Why is that?
I don't know. We're lazy.
I don't think we've been lazy. I've been working hard. I don't know about you.
Not on this.
No, I mean, this podcast typically reflects kind of what's going on in our daily life. We don't sit down and plan content. We just kind of
Well, the whole point of this podcast to begin with was because we were working through problems while drinking, and then we're just like, what's this? There's good value here. Let's record it and put it out.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But do you think that we haven't really had many business problems to work through recently?
Yeah, it's just kind of been going.
I've been on like smooth sailing.
Yeah. I've got problems but nothing to discuss, like just stuff to work on,
Yeah.
Just business as usual.
Well, tell us about that.
Oh, yeah, so I don't know, I got a project I'm really excited about. My next kind of goal, vision, major one for myself is to get to the point of get a semi-passive asset that I can get net zero or even net positive on all my living expenses.
Yeah.
So then whatever I'm doing in business, I can leverage that credibility, reputation, and, get a standing in the community that I work in. Because once you own something, especially in real estate and hospitality, you get known really quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, look at your business, right?
My business?
You're indirectly in hospitality.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, and you get all this news coverage.
Yeah.
So
also, I'm cool.
Right. Very cool. Such a cool llama jama, Santa Claus, wine drinking.
I don't know what you're trying to insult me here, but
I don't know. Anyways,
you're saying things that are all true. So,
but yeah, so that's
step one for any business owner is to get the business profitable, and then step two would be to get yourself.
I think step one is to start. Got that.
Just start already. It's easy. Okay, go back to like episode 1. It's easy.
Yeah, no.
But I'm saying, do you think that you should prioritize paying yourself, getting net zero on your living expenses before your business gets net zero on its expenses?
I think it's different between I'm looking at something that's more or less just a real estate asset that kind of produces a fixed return.
I'm talking like more in general, like if we're giving business advice.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know, your business needs to survive for its own sake,
but also you
pay yourself as little as you can afford to take.
Because also you can't fucking be expected to run your business if you can't eat.
Right. Yeah. No. If you write any business plan, presented to BDC, Business Development Bank of Canada, offering exclusively entrepreneur loans.
Yep.
If you do not account for your own salary in your business plan, they will fucking kick you out the door.
Yeah, those two go away.
Yeah.
And then remember how I didn't pay myself for like 2 years, and people were like, "Oh, that's not possible," and I said, "Haha, I'm homeless."
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. One time, a government, because I was applying for like a grant, like some young entrepreneurs grant or something, and I had to do like a daily log of my hours.
Yeah.
And then part of it, so I did did a daily log of my hours for like 2 weeks. Or no, I think it was like 2 months. And then I also had to submit like my pay stubs and like my bank records and everything to like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, wait, you're working 100 hours a week and paying yourself $200 a month? I said, yeah. And she said, well, you can't live on $200. Like, she basically accused me of lying. Like, she's like, you can't live on $200 a month. And I'm like, okay, maybe you can't with your government salary and fucking, multiple vehicles and family and stuff.
Spending
like,
$200 a day just to get by.
Yeah, I don't know. I got 8 roommates and fucking went to networking events and ate their sandwiches.
Yeah.
Like,
Lots of mustard, lots of white bread,
fucking
little bologna.
It's something ridiculous. Like people in like there's like in like Nigeria or something, or like no, probably a more poor country, but like an African country I was reading, they live on like $5 a month.
Yeah, maybe I don't know my
I saw
geography, but like Nairobi or Uganda or something like that.
Yeah, they were living on like $5 a month.
Yeah.
Like think about that.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's fucked. Like
yeah, like you get a half cup of rice every other day kind of thing.
Yeah, literally. Like yeah.
And they're still happier.
Well, because remember, it's those fucking commercials that are like, oh, you can support a kid for the price of a cup of coffee a day or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like $1 a day. That's $30 a month. You can support a child. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know.
Plug for World Vision.
Plug for World Vision. Donate to this podcast and then match your donation, and we won't do anything.
What's something that we have been arguing about lately?
Do you know, or I don't know? I'm not thinking of anything. Do you know, or you're trying to get it out of me, or like what?
I'm trying to remember because I remember distinctly thinking that you're an idiot. Like very.
Well, I distinctly
very
remember thinking you were an idiot, but that's about something completely different.
So what was it?
I don't know. When you were standing behind Zach with a saw.
You approved of that, to be fair.
Yesterday? When you were here?
No, I don't know. We were drinking the other day.
On the last podcast?
Possibly. All of the days be blended. So after the last podcast, we were on a level of drunk that we do not typically reach.
We were pretty drunk.
At least not one that I do. Like I couldn't get off the couch. So I crashed there, slept 2.5 hours, and then went to a 6 a.m. golf game.
Yeah, you had a tea time at like an hour after we stopped drinking.
Literally. My first time golfing since I was 15.
And how did it go?
So I'm like driving there, and I'm like, I can't tell if I'm tired, drunk, or hungover.
Yeah.
And then
No, you texted me like 4 p.m. You're like, the hangover's coming now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it hit me later for sure. I think I was just like really, really tired, not fully awake. Mm-hmm. And then got to the golf course, changed my clothes, pulled my ass out of the car, and I'm like just standing in the parking lot, just like half conscious. Everybody else shows up looking all chipper. One buddy's like, I got up at 4:45 and I hit the gym and I took a cold shower. I did some yoga and I'm ready to go. And I'm like, I went to bed at 4:45 and I think I'm still drunk. Went out on the course, teed up, first line. If you know Winnipeg, which most of you don't or care. Just whacked my first ball straight into traffic. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a good day. Just like pretended it didn't happen, like dropped my ball down the fairway and just kept fucking whacking away. But it was actually a pretty good time. I had heat stroke by the end of it and then like hangover hit. But man, I got a new hobby now. Yeah. And I did it in, I'd say, the only fashion that I know how. And
you were golfing with your old boss and your old coworker.
Mm-hmm.
And then he texted me after that night, and he said, "Hey, you golf?" Like he's trying to get me out on the links as well.
I'm like, you know what? We are that age.
Tell me, say the thing that you said to me about like the people on the golf course.
Oh yeah, so I mean, best reason to go golfing at our age is to meet people in business, because if you're going during business hours, Monday to Friday between. Honestly, the best time is between like 7 and noon.
Yeah.
If you're on the golf course at that time, or better yet, you get off the golf course, get back into the, the clubhouse, and you're like mid-morning, 10:30 a.m. lounging without a care in the world.
Yeah.
And you're like 24. they're gonna be like, what the fuck's this guy up to? Like,
Yeah.
how is he not at his job?
How is he paying the membership of this club? And
yeah. So, I mean, obviously, you don't get that effect at public courses.
Of course.
But, I mean, you gotta practice.
Yeah, I think the line you said was, if you want to find the richest people in your city, go to the golf course at 8 a.m. on a work day.
Yeah.
And that's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not gonna find
that.
You're not gonna find the working class. You're not gonna find. You'll find a lot of actually like senior citizens, right? It's probably 80% people that are in their 60s. But I mean, you can either jump right into that group, see who you can meet, or you can just eliminate that entirely and look for everyone that's between your age and that, and then go from there. Fantastic networking opportunity. And like, how else do you get seen by respected or older members of the community in a way that they see you as like a peer and not just like some...
You have to be half decent at golf, though.
Yes and no.
Because if you keep shooting all your balls into traffic like Tyler,
it's like,
you might not have a good networking foot to stand on.
Yeah, but if you show up, you don't lose your temper, you calmly whack your way through it, you don't hold people up, you're polite, you show up consistently. Like, you do that 1, 2, 3 times, they won't take notice of you. But if you're still there 3 months later, you're there 6 months later, if you're next season, it's those cycles that really start to uptick. Like, think about any networking event. You don't really pay attention to first timers.
Yeah.
But every time you see someone, it builds that rapport. Because how many times did we go to the same event before we connected?
Me and you?
Yeah.
Oh, probably multiple. I don't even know.
Yeah, we don't. Like, I think we went to a lot of the same events and we never even met each other.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, because we were talking about how we were like, oh, I've been doing this for a couple of years. You're like, oh, me too, and like we had never met before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until you tried to sell me something. That's the only reason why you tried to notice me in the first place.
Yeah, that's how I met half my friends, honestly. I tried to sell everybody some shit.
Fair point. Yeah, I don't know. I think networking is important. I don't think it's... I think that's probably the most... I don't feel like that's like a hidden piece of business advice that nobody knows. I think everyone preaches that.
But are you doing it?
Who, me? Or anyone?
Listener.
Anyone listening.
Period. Anyone saying that, believing it, understand. Like, yeah, networking is important. Okay, like what actions are you taking?
Yeah.
I'm not saying like just show up to your Chamber of Commerce event and fucking twiddle your thumbs and talk to your buddy that you always go there with.
Yeah.
You actually have to put yourself into, number one, new situations and new places and do new things to meet new people. And
bookmark this and re-listen to it after there isn't 40,000 people a day dying of a terrible disease.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. America.
Yeah, we...
Get fucked.
Manitoba's 1.5 million people. We still only have 7 deaths. We're doing pretty good.
We have a grand total of like
350 infections total.
350 total and 16 right now.
16 active.
Yeah.
And 7 deaths. No one in the hospital.
So, I mean, we're doing great over here.
But America is not, unfortunately.
No.
I saw Florida had 8,000, just the state of Florida.
Yesterday.
In like one day.
Yeah. Oof.
And this is, for context, this is the 2nd of July, 2020. So if you're listening to this from Futureland.
Roughly 2 weeks after the protests. So, we talked about this last time. We both vigorously support the protests.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like, shame on you, you went out, now you're sick. I'm just like, okay, so there's protests 2 weeks ago. It's a 2-week incubation period.
Yeah.
Now we have skyrocketing infection numbers.
Yeah.
Like, this is an incredibly infectious disease. You're not talking about like one guy infects 2 guys, infects 4 guys. You're talking like
one person infects 100.
1 to 15 to 100 to 600. That can happen in an hour. And
yeah, I don't know. Well, because then you get a lot of the people on the right being like, oh, so fucking bars and restaurants give the infection, but protests don't.
Right.
Because like Bernie's like, yeah, get out and protest. But he's also like, stay inside because COVID.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of like...
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I think I'm looking at it in like a quote-unquote militant perspective where when it's something that important, you go out regardless of the risk.
What's the option? Right? Like,
sit down and be quiet or
yeah.
seize the moment. And obviously people chose to seize the moment
Yeah.
and accept the risk.
Well, and the protests out here that we had, the Black Lives Matter protests, people were wearing masks and people were social distancing.
Yeah, true.
Like,
so that's one correlation. Another correlation would be literally everything else that they're doing.
oh, half the states are like reopening everything.
Well, they're like phase 3, worse than when they started the shutdown.
Yeah.
God damn.
Well, and we keep like reopening slowly, and our premier, which is like the equivalent of an American governor, is basically saying, I reserve the right to step back at any time if things get worse.
Yeah, and the prime minister is lockstep.
Yeah. And our...
Can you just take a moment to appreciate that? It's coordinated.
And they're different. Our prime minister is a liberal,
right?
A left-leaning person, and our premier is a right-leaning person, and they're pretty much having the same response.
There's no beef.
Yeah, there's no... Because global pandemic, we're dying. People are fucking dying, Karen.
There's literally a rule book. Just fucking follow it. And don't make it a partisan issue.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But half of America doesn't believe this is real.
Yeah.
Or at least as real as
So,
it could be. Or they... Yeah, you know what I mean.
I mean, the deaths will start spiking in 4 weeks.
Did you see this... China released a thing that said they found another disease.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like another H1N1 kind of thing.
Yeah, it's H1N2.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, they just found it. They're like, this has pandemic potential as well.
Yeah, it's in their pig population, and it has the potential to flip to humans.
Fucking COVID-20 electric boogaloo. Like...
It's not even fucking news at this point. Like I forget what African country, but they literally just cleared their last Ebola outbreak last week.
And that was like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah. So
maybe not quite, but
pretty close. But the reason that were fighting Ebola up till now is because they had pause for dramatic effect, an uncoordinated, disbelieving response to the Ebola pandemic. Like half of them didn't believe it was real, and then one branch of the government was like trying to go to social distancing and lockdowns. The other half of the government was like fighting against them, and then they had vaccines come in, and then the other half of the government's like, no, we don't like those vaccines, we're going to do hydrochloroquine. And then basically they were going back and forth, so like this pandemic turned into like 4 or 5 year thing when it could have been 9 months.
It's interesting that and no one, or maybe there were people that I just didn't notice, but like when Ebola was a thing, no one was like, that's not real.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Or even when...
Well, the fatality rate was pretty high.
We're doing a glass of water. This is uncharacteristic for me, but I think you're right with the...
Yeah, I think Ebola death rate was a lot higher.
What about
I think the fatality rate was like fucking... So like 15 to 30%.
What about like H1N1 though? Was there anyone saying that didn't exist?
No, but H1N1 wasn't such a big deal because the fatality rate was like 3 times higher than the flu, so it was like 0.03 fatality rate. So something like...
And what's COVID?
Nobody has any idea. You can't tell until
it's over.
Until a year from now.
Yeah.
But it's definitely higher because they estimated roughly 25% of the U.S. population had swine flu or H1N1.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're talking 80 million people got it.
Yeah.
And then they could figure out the death rates and whatever.
Yeah.
But it was like just a mildly bad flu.
Yeah.
So they just kind of let it flow through the population because you can't stop. Really, you just don't want to overwhelm your hospitals.
Yeah.
And they didn't because it was not a very dangerous disease. So H1N1, not a big deal.
I remember getting a vaccine.
Yeah.
For it. Like, I remember my mom freaking out.
Right. And it was not that dangerous. But something like Ebola, which has a much higher fatality rate, people take way more seriously. When like 1 in 3 people dies, everyone locks down super fucking quick, and also it's not as infectious. Instead of like 1 to 6, like one person infects 6, it's one person infects like 3.
Okay.
So I forget what they call that number, but like the rate of multiplication is like a fraction lower, plus it's way more lethal. People take it way more seriously.
Yeah.
Like you can clamp down on it, and it's, think about if it never got out of Wuhan, but was super deadly.
Yeah. We would have all.
You would have no idea. We would be talking about the election right now.
Yeah.
And
which is still happening, I guess, right?
Now Biden is fucking tripping over his own feet, and he's got a. and then Trump is. I don't know.
Do you think? Well, fucking Biden tweeted the other day. He's like, "I promise to read my briefs if I'm elected president." And I saw someone like quote tweet it and was like, "It is the saddest day when all the presidential candidate has to do to set himself apart to say, I'm gonna read." Like, these are the two.
I'm gonna read the morning news presented to me.
These are the two lowest denominators of any. Like, it's brutal.
Here's an interesting subject, because this is something that I argued with someone else about.
Okay.
Is the idea of pivoting your political opinion.
For what purpose?
For any reason, or a lot of reasons.
Okay.
So.
Well, you mean like deliberately pivoting it, or like it pivots over time?
It's pivoted over time.
Okay.
Due to events.
Okay.
Like, I'm not like consciously being like, you know what, I've changed my mind about how I feel about things. No, I don't think I've changed my values.
Yeah.
But
obviously you have.
Shit's changed.
We grow, right?
Right. So up until, I don't know, end of last year, end of 2019, I would call myself a Trump supporter, but I wasn't opposed to what he was doing, because I saw it was super good for
the economy.
Yeah, super good for the economy. I was working in Cleveland, and it was like really, really, good progress for the, like, black unemployment was shrinking at a rate like double or triple as the national unemployment. Mm-hmm. And like things look good. Steel was coming back to Cleveland. There was a bunch of manufacturing coming back. Things looked really good. And I'm like, you know what? The guy might be a dumbass. He might say some stupid shit on TV, but you know what?
Results matter.
Something's working. And I'm like, I get it. The guy's not a polished politician. He's a crass, arrogant
New York
billionaire. Like, of course he's a dick.
Yeah.
But he's getting the right shit done. So it seemed. But a good times leader
creates
a good yes. A good times leader in good times, it's easy to look
like
good.
You get your shit together, things are going well.
Right. Did it even have anything to do with him?
We don't know.
I mean, not likely per se, because is one person out of 300 million that influential over the success of the country?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think like the machine of the government, the executive branch, the judicial branch, the Senate, the Congress, whatever, like that is so much momentum, right?
Well, I saw like a good comment that was like, these leftists are going to be really confused when Biden wins the election and black people are still getting killed by cops.
Right.
Like, I think we've got like I'm speaking in broad terms, obviously. I think a lot of people have kind of like forgot that Trump isn't the whole problem.
Right.
Right. He's a symptom of the
Right. So the stock prices are high. Everyone's having a good time. Trump says something stupid, nobody cares.
Because
they're not asking him they're not asking him any hard questions.
No life or death questions.
Right. So good times equals you can kind of get away with shit, and there's not a lot of scrutiny or pressure on you.
Yeah.
But as soon as crisis hits, there's crunch, and now your values, your leadership, all these things that come
into question.
Well, yeah, they come into question, and all of a sudden people are asking questions and looking for, leadership, guidance, unity, all these things that, a leader of a giant country is supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
and then you have whatever the fuck is happening right now. Like literally saying he's as of what, July 15th or something like that. He's defunding, pulling all federal funding from COVID-19 testing sites because, quote, if we test a lot, we look bad. He's pulling.
Is that what he's doing?
No, it's official. He's pulling all federal funding.
I saw the quote. I didn't want to get into it just because I was busy that day. I didn't want to deal with it.
It's like, really?
Yeah, he said. I get what he was trying to say. He was trying to say that like we have more positives because we're testing more.
Yes, true. But there was like 2 follow-up interviews after that.
Okay, which I didn't watch. So
yeah, no, he. So he made this statement of like, we're getting a lot of positives because we're testing a lot. I'm going to defund testing. That way we don't look so bad. And then his top advisors, you know, they do the press conferences. The press asked him like, "Are you fucking serious?" They're like, no, he was kidding.
Yeah.
And then as he's like hopping into his plane, this same reporter is like, "Hey, were you kidding about this thing?" And he's like, No. If we do, I'm defunding there's no more federal funding.
Which doesn't mean it's defunded. It means there's no more federal funding.
Yeah, no more federal funding.
But healthcare isn't federally funded generally anyway.
Right, which means like Trump's whatever the national coordination around like let's get this pandemic under control is gone. Now it's up to the state and municipal governments.
Which I would argue is more efficient.
It's more efficient, yes, but it's about the message. They don't actually do that much in see, the way the U.S. is set up is they have municipal and state and county have a lot of power. Yeah. Most of the power. The only thing that Trump really has is the narrative.
Yeah.
Which, have you followed his goddamn Twitter?
Yeah, I love his Twitter.
I know, it's hilarious. But if you're defunding it, what does that say? And he said, no, we're defunding it because if we do less tests, we're going to have less positives and we're not going to look so bad.
Yeah. I don't want to justify the things that Trump thinks. I don't know.
He reconfirmed it. I'm like, you could have just, you could have walked away. You could have gotten away with it. You could have, like...
Yeah. You know what I hope?
He's just, like, fucking nailing his own fucking nails in the coffin.
You know what I hope? Whether he's done in November or he gets another 4 years, either way, I hope that after his presidency, he releases a book that says, that titled, like, I Can't Believe I Made It. And he basically just explains, yeah, I just kept doing fucking ridiculous shit and no one stopped me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like straight up told them, yeah, I'm going to stop doing COVID testing because then less negatives make me look better. No one did anything.
One would hope.
I hope that he's just trolling us.
There's such a master plan.
Well, good. If I was a billionaire, I'd be like, let's see if I can become president.
The consequences, though, his brand is trashed.
Well, he's fucking 70. What else is he doing?
Yeah, right? I mean, he's on his way out the door.
I was saying today, I want... you ever seen the Simpsons movie? They build like a...
Long time ago.
Okay, yeah, me too. They build like a dome around Springfield.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the plot is, but they're
like that Stephen King movie, Under the Dome.
Sure, they're in a dome, whatever. And so I think I want to run for mayor with that
business
platform. That's my whole platform. Is we build a dome around Winnipeg.
Like a wall.
Yeah, but so like we control weather and shit.
Yeah,
and then people are gonna like ask me like, what about the greenhouse effect? And I'm like, next question. Like, and I'll just do that and just as a joke, like basically to fuck with this, just to, you know, I don't actually believe in the democratic system, so it's like a vermin supreme kind of situation where it's a protest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just see how far I can get by being my only platform.
Joe Exotic nearly got elected.
Joe Exotic, isn't he in jail? I didn't watch the thing.
Okay, yeah, no, he nearly got elected. So there's what they call, like, there's, I don't know what they call it, like a downswing type of year. Like, basically when, especially in the States where you just have two parties to vote for, there will be a random independent that comes in, and he's literally just an eccentric shit disturber. and people will rally behind that person and vote for him just like as protest against the quote system.
Well, I mean, like, not exactly as a protest, but you find people like Arnold Schwarzenegger won.
Right. But
He
he's
didn't
like
know anything about
legitimate. He was actually like competent though.
Okay, fucking who's the Kane, the WWE wrestler? He just got elected like a mayor or something.
Oh, that's great.
Like a governor or something. He's he's an elected official now somewhere. And like,
is Brock Lesnar going to be the newest MLA
of Saskatchewan?
Yeah.
That's where he lives
Yeah,
apparently.
he's going to be the premier of
For some
Saskatchewan.
reason. He's not Canadian, is he?
I
I don't think so. He's like Brock Lesnar has a cabin like 500 kilometers from here.
Which
where
is
he like lives.
close in Canada speak.
Oh yeah, very close. Like that's what I mean.
That's like next door.
Yeah, it's like, no, like literally the next province over, and he has like this like fucking like 160 acres of like farmland where he just like lives in rural Saskatchewan for no reason.
Loves to hunt.
Yeah,
that's why.
For like no reason.
That's exactly.
Brock Lesnar, though.
Yeah. He's a WWE.
Well, he was a UFC, or not UFC, but
UFC.
what's the other one?
He was UFC champion.
UFC? What's the other one? MMA?
Well, MMA is the sport. UFC is the league.
Oh, news to me. I don't really care about any of this. But he was, like an actual fighter. And then apparently he's said something like, don't quote me on this, but he said something like, I can make more money performing. And then like became a WWE. Same with that chick. Ronda Rousey. Yeah, she became a WWE fighter. She's like, I make way more money.
She didn't, she got kind of left behind. She didn't progress. She got the shit beaten out of her twice. And then she's like, I'm just going to do
She was so famous though, hey?
Well, it's because the female side of MMA was like way behind. It was like 10 years behind, but developing 5 times as fast.
When she was
on top for a little bit, was dominated like crazy, and then she got knocked down fucking immediately.
Because she was doing the whole Conor McGregor thing where she was like, I'm the toughest person ever. Like,
yeah, and her whole shtick was she'd knock bitches out in the first 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden she came across a tough girl that she couldn't knock out.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of her face just like,
it
looks like a fucking plum, like.
I remember that fight.
Violet Beauregard, like.
Yeah, she went against this. The woman was a Marine.
Okay, yeah.
And like punched her in the face a bunch of times, and this chick fucking laughs at her and just goes 3 rounds, beats the crap out of her.
Yeah, I saw the highlights.
Yeah, just outclassed. She didn't evolve, didn't train hard enough, and now she's famous.
Cocky. Yeah. Say what you will about the McGregor Mayweather fight. But fucking Floyd Mayweather had him way... Like, if you just look at his footing...
Yeah.
Like, he had him way outclassed. I like boxing more than I like UFC.
Yeah.
Nothing really... I don't keep up with it, but I used to watch a lot of, like, Muhammad Ali fights and stuff. Just, like, like old... I was saying reruns.
MMA is a lot less refined. There's too many ways to win too quickly.
Yeah. Which almost, like... I guess, like, I understand why people like it. Like, and I like it too. Like, if it's like, if someone's like, yo, we're having beers, we've got pay-per-view of the UFC, I'll be like, yeah, whatever, right? I'm not invested, but I get why people like it. Like, it's the most primal, like,
oh yeah,
you get to basically kill someone, like,
there's no eye gouging, you're biting.
Yeah, in like a fit of,
no one's actually gonna die.
No, but it's fair combat. Right? Yeah. You're on equal footing, like it's fair combat, right? You gotta be fucking within a pound of each other, like,
no pocket sand.
No pocket sand. But yeah, so I mean, like, at the end of the day, I think most of us, especially men, I think have it inside of them. They just want to be fucking barbarians again.
Yeah, how weird is it?
Which I think is a bad thing in general.
So neither of us watch sports.
It's toxic masculinity, probably, right? Yeah, neither of us. No, we don't watch sports, right?
No. Like I enjoy watching.
Watch the Jets playoffs.
Yeah. Jets playoffs.
Great Cup football.
Sure.
Yeah, I do not give a shit though.
No, could not be bothered to follow this regular season.
No.
And like, I wonder for any of you fans out there what it's like when your fucking entertainment is based around fantasy football, your fantasy NHL, the playoffs, going to your buddy's house, Sunday night or Sunday afternoon football, all these like family rituals. This must feel like chaos.
Like
with
chaos or
with none
chaos
of,
COVID?
Yeah, with none of this happening.
Yeah.
All the sports are gone. Like, and at this rate,
I'm gonna drink ahead of you. Speed up.
are you?
Yeah, just finish the glass of wine.
Oh.
I think like well, you know what I'm thinking?
Hoppy.
Yeah, this is like the fucking people. I know Gary Vaynerchuk already is.
It's like literally everyone's grounded.
Investing in esports right now.
Oh yeah.
Like I know Gary Vaynerchuk has like a whole esports company and everything.
Yeah.
That's the fucking way to go right now because you can still fucking play competitive Call of Duty right now.
I've been watching a lot of just like YouTube channels and stuff like that, and they've like Donut Media is one that I've been watching, like my car guy, and I don't know exactly when this happened, but now with COVID, they have a show releasing every single day. They have 7 shows, one releasing every day.
Because people are like, yeah.
Right, and all these hosts are just broadcasting from their bedrooms in front of a green screen.
Well, have you seen that, that Hot Ones show where they do like
Yep.
the wings?
I love the hot ones.
They're doing it like on Zoom now.
Right.
Like fucking Sean Evans or whatever is like doing them, and they're in their kitchen.
Isn't that Barstool owns that?
No, Complex owns it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just assume Barstool owns everything these days.
Complex owns First We Feast, which owns
Right.
Hot Ones.
Complex.
It's like a hip hop magazine.
Okay. I'm thinking Complex Games is a Winnipeg company. Like,
No. No. It's like a hip hop culture magazine.
Yeah.
And like, because if you watch like old, that's why they were able to get all these rappers on Hot Ones at the beginning before it was famous.
Yeah.
Because like their agent would pick up the phones from Complex because they're like, yeah, of course.
Come on a podcast.
And then they're like, come on this weird show that we're doing. And then, yeah,
eat hot wings. What?
yeah, exactly. And now it's like fucking larger than life. So they can get anyone they want.
Yeah.
But back when they were starting, if you watch the first like season, it's all rappers.
Yeah.
And you could tell none of them knew what the fuck we're doing. Like DJ Khaled dipped out on the 2nd or 3rd wing out of 10. You could tell he didn't know what he signed up for. Yeah. Anyway.
Pussy.
But they're doing it like, man, we should do like a fucking that on this podcast.
I've got the last dab at home.
Yeah, I gave it to you.
You have the other one.
I gave you the fucking Redux one, the hot one, the hotter one.
I don't think you can tell at that level, but
Yeah, apparently you can. So they taste good.
I
Like
put it on burgers.
they taste good. I like it. It's really spicy, but
Yeah, it's
yeah.
it might be uneventful. We'd be sitting here just like stone faced, like yeah.
Well, because we could do it, right?
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
We'd be like just fucking dead ass eating hot wings.
That'd be fun to go on that show, though.
Yes.
Right? Like that would be.
I've got to say though, I think the Little Bones hottest hot wings they have.
It's a wing place here in Winnipeg.
I think they're hotter.
That's hotter than that.
I think they're hotter.
Because they use those. They use fucking what do you call it? Extracts.
Yeah.
Which is like not like pepper purists will be like.
That's not real.
That's not real. It's like.
Well, it feels real.
Yeah.
Like I've had their second hottest wing, so like I think they're like 3 out of 10 hot is probably the hottest wing you can buy at whatever hot wing place you usually go to.
Yeah.
That's like or like tavern or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like their 3. They jump from 3 to a 5, which is a dry rub, and then they have a 8, which is called a near death experience. It's called the anti-wing, a near death experience. And then they have available only in store. Yeah. And I think you only get 2 wings.
Yeah, they only give you 2, yeah.
Yeah, they only give you 2 wings for like the same price.
For like $10.
Yeah, the same price as a dozen.
Yeah.
And it's not called the near death experience, it's called
Death.
Yeah. It's just called death.
Yeah.
And that one's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know how many Scoville units, but it's double what a near-death experience is. And a near-death experience, I have to hype myself up for like 3 weeks before I try those.
The, like, hottest one on, like, Hot Ones is, like, hotter than pepper spray, apparently. Like, on the Scoville scale.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
COVID protesters. How hot is pepper spray?
Okay, also apparently Scoville is kind of not a good measure of actual spice and heat. Like, it's not actually a good measurement. That was my air conditioning flicking on.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, like, I think within my life I could get famous enough to get on Hot Ones.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I am down. That's like a life goal.
You get on Hot Ones with Post Malone.
If that show's still around in like 10 years.
Not like...
Well, he's doing TV right now, yeah? He just got a TV deal.
Really?
He's doing like a game show with the same idea. Where like they have to eat hot wings or whatever.
Have you seen Floor's Lava?
No.
Me neither.
Well, what are you talking about then?
Just asking.
Do you want to play this Floor's Lava?
Yes. Jumps on table.
Jumps on table.
No, it's... I'm excited about it because Netflix is venturing into game shows.
Okay.
And, like, have you ever watched YouTube videos of, like, China or Japanese game shows?
Yes,
like,
I have.
They're insane. Like,
They're crazy.
It's an entire culture that's, I think, really become soured.
I just remember I saw one where they like have to make out with a girl in a mask, and like one of the 5 girls is their daughter. Japan's kind of weird, man.
Yeah, no. I think game shows have been ruined by like shows like Jeopardy. It's like we're on season 742 with the same fucking host.
We stand Alex Trebek. Get well soon, buddy. He has like cancer, like bad.
Oop.
Yeah.
Is this?
Yeah, I do that.
Thank.
Yeah. It's a day old cider. It's the one you and Carly cracked yesterday.
Wonderful.
We went to a pool party yesterday.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thanks, Daniel. Shout out, Daniel. It was Canada's birthday, 153rd birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean? Oh yeah, that's why we had the day off. Like
day off.
So I worked till 7 p.m.
Day off.
We did pretty good sales wise, but yeah.
So how do you feel about days off?
I'm appreciating them more as I get older.
Sure.
As I get more depressed. I think we talked about this on the Mexico episode.
Yeah.
About how like taking time off, like for people like me and you, actually make us come back stronger because we don't use it for escapism.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to always put myself in perspective when I get into a weird mood. So yesterday I was watching, day before yesterday, watching a bunch of Netflix, like binging a show for like a whole evening, let's say 5 until midnight. That's like a lot of Netflix.
Yeah.
That's 7 fucking hours.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm just like halfway through feeling guilty. I'm like, why am I'm like feeling guilty for sitting here.
That happens to me.
Yeah. I'm like, but at the same time, if somebody asks me, how are you doing? Are you busy? Like, what's going on? I'll say, I'm super content. Like, I'm working as much as I want to. I'm making enough money to get by right now, more than I used to. Like, content, but still feel guilty for taking time off. It's like, no, I'm not sitting here because I'm lazy. I'm sitting here because I decided to take a minute. And I decided that, even though I just started a business, I'm not going to spend this entire summer busting my ass trying to work as many hours as possible, make as many dollars as possible. I decided I was going to have a good summer because I've had 3, 4, 5 fucking years of doing exactly that, busting my balls, not enjoying my summer, and having nothing to show for it anyways.
I guess, yeah, I was big into, still am big into like film, and like I used to make movies. We've talked about this a bunch. Every so often, where I have like a day where I don't have to be up early, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna watch a fucking movie, and every single time, I got like little heart palpitations. And I'm like, this is like 2 hours of my time I just wasted.
Yeah.
I could have been fucking doing something else.
Right. So why are you punishing yourself for a decision you voluntarily made?
I don't know.
It's irrational, but you
no,
do it
but
anyways.
well, that's a bad justification because like I would still if I had like if I was like clean off drugs and I had a slip, I would still fucking beat myself up over it. Right. Same, not same idea, but you know what I mean. Like just because it's something that I willingly did doesn't mean that I won't regret doing it.
Okay, fair.
Right. So. But I guess the better question is why does... Do you think that we're wrong in prioritizing work over pretty much everything else?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, as in what? Like, give me an example.
So everyone has their own unique example.
Yeah.
For me, it's when I see my older sister and I'm like, oh dear God, you're actually 8 months pregnant right now.
Yeah.
And I've seen you 4 times since you weren't.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a lot of life that's passed by. And I'm ignorant to it.
Okay, but...
So, like, those kinds of things make me feel like work is not that important.
I'm going to make a counter argument that the amount of time that you lose working right now is going to be eclipsed 100 times by the amount of free time you'll have in the future because you work right now.
Right, but there's balance and compromise in that idea.
I don't disagree with that. I think probably...
If you're not satisfied with every week that goes by, I think you're doing it... Or, I shouldn't say every week. Choose a time frame you like. Whether it be day, week, month, 90 days, 6 months, year. Choose a time frame that you can be satisfied with and create balance.
I think...
Because you could fucking die tomorrow.
I think in a month, I want to have more good days than bad. More easy days than hard.
Right, which would mean you're looking at a year perspective.
Yeah. More or less.
Yeah. I try to look at it more of a day or a week perspective right now, because if I have a lot of good days and if I enjoy myself, have good days, and overall have productive weeks, I think that equals a good year.
Yeah, but I also don't dislike working.
You don't dislike working and you don't dislike bad days. You don't fight them.
Define bad. There's some bad days.
Right, you have a lot of bad days. Fucking admit it. You have bad days and you just grit your teeth and bear it and you do another one. Because you know you're going to have a better month.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but the fact that maybe I'll get married and have a kid when I'm 30, and from the day that kid's born, I don't have to work ever again.
Right.
Because I've saved up enough, because now I have a business that just pays me $200,000 a year and I don't have to do shit.
Exactly.
Right? But that happened because I fucking grit my teeth and took the bad days right now.
Exactly.
Right?
So the most confusing way to look at life is you simultaneously view life in 9 days, 9 months, and 9 years.
Okay.
And nothing in between matters.
Yeah. Well, because...
And you hold those all at the same time.
I guess, I'm sure you would get there. Someone with a left perspective might say that I feel guilty when I'm not working because I've been beaten in corporatism and capitalism, beaten into my head that I'm not a productive member of society.
Not true. Because when people that have, let's say, CERB, okay, what things are... What are people spending money on? What things are trending now that people have CERB or laid off, a bunch of time on their hands? What's going up? What are people doing more?
Relaxing,
gardening,
okay,
biking, fixing their house, taking care of their kids, going on whatever little vacations they can, staycations.
What's your point, though?
The point is...
When money isn't an issue...
When money isn't an issue, people still do what they can to bring the most value to their life.
Mm-hmm.
So, fixing your house...
Isn't exactly leisure time.
It's not leisure time. It's not like that's productive. That's hard work. That's a legitimate task in a job.
And then someone would say that, yeah, but you have at the end of it, you have this finished house or whatever. But I would make the same argument with my business: is that
people work and achieve for the sake of it, not because they're forced to.
Yes.
When people have no reason to work, they do anyways.
Yeah.
Is my point.
Yeah. Well, I can't. I can never see myself just retiring and never.
No, because who in the fuck is so powerful that can make all of humanity work their asses off for a better future?
Trump? Just kidding.
Literally no. Like, nobody has that kind of power. That's human nature.
Well, I guess it's like, I don't...
People love to work. People love to succeed.
Yeah.
People love to achieve the satisfaction of... And people always say, like, that's a man's purpose in life is to work hard and achieve and provide for his family. Number one, that's bullshit, because any woman you meet that does the same thing feels greater satisfaction than if she didn't.
Yeah.
Like, that's human fucking nature.
I guess, like,
So is
I don't
that,
know.
is that a leftist or a libertarian view?
I don't know, honestly. I think there's merits from all sides. Like, I feel like I made a Facebook post about this a while ago. I use my work as to treat my mental health.
Right.
Like, I have...
Which is fair.
That's some of the best I've ever feel about myself. My self-confidence is when I achieve something big.
What do they do with prison inmates? They put them to work.
Yeah.
For, quote, rehabilitation.
No, that's just to get free labor.
Shh. They don't know about that.
The prisoners?
No, the profits
The for-profit prisons?
with free labor.
But, like, I probably would say a lot of the reason why I'm single is because I work so much.
Yes and no.
I'm also a dick, but...
Right.
Hey!
Same. True. We're hard to be around. So I
like being around you, Tyler.
I had a brief interaction with a government employee today. And, like, you have two options when you're speaking to someone.
At my building,
I apologize.
you badmouthed a health inspector.
No, he's fine. He started it.
We passed the health inspection, for the record.
With
but
flying colors.
We got spot inspected today by the province, and I wasn't there, but Tyler was.
So, I said what you would have.
And you fucking, before he signed the thing, you were, like, yelling at him.
No, okay. So, you have a petition.
We have a petition on our bar top. Shout out Loaf and Honey. Our friends Dustin and Rachel have a cheese company where they make cheese, and they're following every federal guideline to make the cheese. But the province recently changed the guidelines and made them, like, throw out a bunch of their cheese and everything for no reason, even though they're following the federal guidelines. So they asked me and a few other business owners to put a petition in our bar where people could sign that said, this is bullshit, let them eat cheese.
Basically.
And so...
The health inspector...
is from the department that we're fighting with this petition.
Yeah. So he's standing at the front counter and he looks at the petition and he reads over it and he looks at, like, your business partner. He's like, do you have an opinion about this? And I was not fully in the conversation or paying attention. I was, like, on my phone. And I just stood up and he's like, do you have an opinion about this? And I, like, kind of vaguely remember what it's about. And I didn't actually know if this guy was, like, a health inspector or if he was, like, whatever. It was LGCA, whatever. I didn't know what organization. Figured he's probably government. But he said this in such a way, it just, like, flipped a fucking switch in the back of my head. There's, like, disrespect in his fucking voice. And I just looked at him and I said, yeah, well, any opportunity that the government has to fuck a small business and drive them into the ground, they'll take it. So, yeah, I've got some feelings about it. And then your business partner Zach is like, no, I don't have any feelings about it. You know, they're friends of ours. We put it out, and, you know, it's in like dozens of businesses. Whatever, no big deal. This is like good cop, bad cop. But that tendency to not be a shit disturber, or
Or to be a shit.
Tendency to be a shit. I can't turn it off.
Me neither.
I cannot turn it off.
I think I'm worse than you.
You are worse than me.
I think I am.
But I am much worse than I used to be since I met you.
You're welcome.
You remember the night I'm talking about? You're like...
Yes, when
You've come around. I did that. Like...
Yeah, when you did that thing that we probably shouldn't have.
Sorry, Winnipeg. Like...
Yeah. That was literally the night where I was like, I like this new Tyler.
Yeah, no, I liked it too. I'm like, you know what? You don't have to sit down and shut the fuck up when people are being when things aren't fair, when things don't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you got that from me. And I'm also glad you see that the government is not always right, and
it's not
just because they have authority doesn't mean they're right.
Also, don't take this in the way we are not saying that they're always wrong.
No, not necessarily.
We are just the people that like to say that they're not always right.
Because I think the same way where you felt you had to be the bad cop today, I feel like when we're together, you feel like you have to be the good cop to me.
Yes.
Me being a fucking...
I would. You would say some shit, I'd smooth it over.
Yeah. Cause we do that all the time with people. We're fucking...
Because, I mean, we can't just make a grown man cry in your bar.
Yeah. A grown man that can fail me on my health inspection.
To be fair, he did buy a bottle of wine.
Yeah, he bought a bottle of wine too. That's funny. And we passed the health inspection. He emailed the thing over, so...
Yeah, and like, listening to him talk about it, I'm like, this guy doesn't actually understand what you do.
None of them do. We had a city inspector that was like, and all the distilling equipment, like when we first got the license, so we're like, we're not distilling, and he's like quoting an American standard. He's like, this, and we're like, that's not even what are you talking about? Like,
yeah, he didn't know how to, like, racking wine. He didn't understand the fact that wine sits in a tank for fucking months.
What did he say?
And it collects dust. He's like, I don't think there should be dust on here. He's like, number one, it's sealed.
Yeah.
Number two, it's been there for 4 months. Number three, the dust doesn't hurt. Number four, I can't cover it because CO2 has to ventilate. I don't know, there's shit coming out of it. Like,
well, also we clean it before we open it and bottle it, right? We wipe everything down.
Like, why are you mad about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, he, like, clearly doesn't So, a wise man once told me, if a lawyer doesn't, strike out a clause or fuck with your agreement...
It wasn't a good agreement?
No, he doesn't feel like he's doing his job. He doesn't do it because there's any issue with it. If he does nothing, he feels like he hasn't done his job. Okay. So, every time expect resistance.
Oh, so you're saying the same thing with an inspector. He just has to bring something up.
He has to bring something up. He has to nitpick. He can't walk away having said, you know what? I don't see anything of consequence. Yeah. He will have to say, dust, little bit of sugar on that. Sugar concentrate, crusty stuff on the tap. Like, he has to say something, even if it doesn't fucking matter to him. Yeah. Which is the exact opposite of how I function. Right. Something about that just like tickles the back of my brain. Is like, whoa, motherfucker, I want to hit you. Well, because you can't see it. If everything is perfect, then I'm like, perfect. I don't have to fucking do anything. You're like, great. It goes. Let's go. Sign, seal, deliver. Like, done. Exactly. And can't leave good enough alone because he doesn't understand what his fucking job is and why. Yeah. So, same goes for government regulators. Yeah. A lot lawmakers. Of people writing these fucking laws don't know what they're doing. Cops. Every cop. Okay, we're not going to talk about cops. We're going to get mad. Sorry, cops. You know what? No, fuck you, cops. I have to appreciate my small town cops because I've done some dumb shit with my friends. Yeah, because you're white. Right? You get away with it. Right, exactly. So, like, respectful. But, you know my other best friend that's super not white. Yes, he's super not white. The equivalent of being, an inner city black man. Watch your... in America, right? Yeah. The equivalent... Our indigenous people are not treated very well by police here. No, not at all. Profiled criminally, like, same stats, like 60% of the prison population is Aboriginal, but 20% of the population actually is Aboriginal. Yeah. Bad numbers all across the board. But he had a bad night. He was like really drunk at a friend's house or relative's house. Cops showed up for like a different reason, and they're like trying to break up the party or the action, whatever is going. They're like, hey man, you're, you know, giant scary guy that's super fucking drunk. They're like, what? We gotta get you out of here. Like, we're gonna either like throw you in the drunk tank or whatever. He's like, can you just like bring me to my pastor's house? I'm like, okay. It was a 40-minute drive away, like 2 towns over. Fucking put him in the truck, drive 40 minutes, bring him home, knock on the door, make sure he gets in safe.
This is cop propaganda. I don't want to do it.
They fucking support him, bring him inside. They're like, hey, you know, he's like really fucked up. He's being an idiot tonight. Here you go. Like, they bring him home.
This is cop propaganda.
This is small town shit that you get. You're lucky to experience if you live in a small town. Because
which I never have, for the record.
if they responded differently, like people know their names.
Yeah.
People aren't checking badge numbers. People aren't like putting in the paper. People like know their fucking names. They know your dad. They know your sister. They know your mother. They know your wife.
Yeah.
Like that works here, but like respect for my town cops. Fucking the rest of them.
Yeah, let's not talk about. I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah, no, like
so,
I'll say that much. If anybody that I know is listening, is like, yes, I don't have any problems with the ones I know personally, but I know systemically and what you've been through, I have so much more anger than I have respect.
I hired another employee this week.
Yes.
We're up to 6 people in the organization now.
Including my own sister.
And I also hired your sister.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about that?
She's a plant girl.
She's a plant girl. So
horticulturalist.
We had the opportunity to like, if you're familiar with my operation, we have a vineyard.
Which I'm fixing.
Yeah, we have a vineyard where we grow our grapes. Up until this year, it was maintained and owned by a different guy, and this year now we're taking over all the ownership and the work and everything, the maintenance and everything.
Thank goodness.
So we needed to hire someone down there. It's about an hour and a half south of where I live. I'm not gonna fucking commute that every day in the summer, obviously. So we needed to hire someone down there, and I guess you brought it up. When we were talking, like, how did this even happen? I didn't remember.
I don't know. We've been talking about the vineyard for years.
And then I was just saying, like, yeah, we need someone down there full time that knows plants. And you're like, hey, my sister knows plants. Doesn't like where she's working right now.
Loves plants.
And is not only loves plants, but is intelligent in that.
Yeah.
Right.
She's super dyslexic, flunked out of school, can't do anything academically.
He said it, not me, Amy.
But like my entire family is like this. But she found like her lane, and in horticulture, she's a genius.
Yeah.
Like for my mom, it's human anatomy and biology.
Yeah.
Like she cannot.
I'm pretty good at human anatomy too, if you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely. No, she's a massage therapist, and like you say, what's 4 times 5? Give her 30 fucking minutes, and she'll get it wrong.
Yeah. But
if you say, how does the scapula affect your ribs? Period.
Do you know what a scapula is? Because that's already ahead of me.
Right, exactly. And she'll go off for like 30 minutes about you know how your life is impacting your fucking spine.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Amy.
Yeah, and my sister now she's getting into reading and tutoring. Like everybody has their lane, especially with dyslexics. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we pushed her right into that. And just like you're fucking unemployable and not good in school, but killing it in business, right?
Yeah, I love, like, you never see that, if you watch The Office, there's this episode where they're in the work bus or whatever. I forget what the setup is. And Kevin, who's like the character he's an accountant, but he's bad at math. That's the joke, running joke.
Yes.
And then there's like, they're going to go to this pie stand or whatever, and they run out of gas or whatever. He's like, but we only have 23 minutes and it's 16 miles. So that's only like, and he's like breaking this all down. And they're like, what? How did you just do that math? Right? And then like Oscar's like, Kevin, what's 16,482 pies times 411 pies? And he just like looks. He's like 7 million pies or whatever whatever the number is. He's like, and what if it were tomatoes? And he's like, carry the.
Can't figure it out.
Can't figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's like me. I can't do fucking math, but as soon as it's money, I'm done. It's in my head.
It's
Zach's always like, what's whatever times whatever. I have it immediately.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. Like I get the math, and I'm usually right on when it comes to big multiplication stuff. I'm like right on with fucking yeah.
Taking over someone else's business or job or responsibilities is a really weird experience because you see, like, you start looking at stuff, you're like, why the fuck did they do this? Like, how are they stupid? Why did they, like, this is lazy, this is dumb, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thanks.
And you can't rationalize what you see in front of you.
Yeah.
So this vineyard has been another exercise, like many others, of when you look at this, like he's literally using the wrong lumber.
Yeah.
The wrong fasteners.
The person we're saying him, the person who built this vineyard originally 15 years ago.
Yeah, and he's smarter than us for sure. He's an orthopedic surgeon.
He's a doctor, yeah.
Orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah.
Which is next fucking level of past GP, right?
Yeah.
This guy's a specialist and a doctor, and he's making decisions on this vineyard that make no sense.
Yeah.
Fasteners that don't make sense. Materials that make no sense. Strategy that makes no sense. The rows aren't straight. Like, for someone that's a doctor, you'd expect precision, order, consistency, forethought, execution, like all these things absent.
In case you're listening to this, buddy, sorry.
You made a hell of a thing. We look at it and simultaneously we're like,
so much respect.
So much respect, because how in the fuck did you build a vineyard this large as a hobby? This is a business.
Yeah.
You built this as a hobby. Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
But like simultaneously, what the fuck?
He said it, not me.
But that's 12 years of evolved learning.
Yeah.
Then like you can literally see from row to row to row to row the decisions that he made and what he changed.
Yeah.
And picking back through it like archaeology is a weird experience. So looking at look at what you were when you're fucking 17.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah, starting a winery.
It's like that was stupid. Why was I like that?
I don't know. I like drugs.
Okay, some of us are still a little too close to our vices. No, I forget what point I was getting at there, honestly.
You're drunk, I can tell. I didn't even get to finish my point a minute ago.
People are excellent at certain things.
I am, yeah.
And utterly blind to most things.
I don't know anything about anything.
Right. And embrace it.
I do. Like today, I could have helped you guys put in the dishwasher.
I wouldn't have helped.
Yeah, I probably would have caused more damage than...
He's like, I can help you. I'm like, yeah, you're better off not close.
He literally, Zach was like, he's just going to get us talking and then we're going to fucking take way longer. Like, yeah. I know what I'm good at. It's not putting in dishwashers.
It's not putting in dishwashers.
Anyway, I was going to say, I hired... Amy was not the employee I was talking about. I hired a different employee this week. She's good. She did her first solo... she's in promotions, sales and promotions. So she does farmers markets, events, and then we also have her do bottling. She hasn't done a bottling shift yet, but she did her first solo market shift yesterday and went well, apparently. So, but yeah, we're up to 6 people in the organization, which is pretty crazy, honestly.
Yeah.
And we're all under 25.
Yep.
25 and under. And none of us have a college degree.
Nope. Well,
half of us have high school degrees.
Was Ellie
Nope. She
Isn't
she had her high school grad 2 Wednesdays ago.
right.
Yeah.
Student.
The girl
going to college. Right?
Yeah, the girl I just hired turned 18 45 days ago. And yeah, it's a student grant program that I'm using. Like it's a provincial grant. They're covering like $8 an hour. So I had to hire a student.
For reference, that's like between high school and first year college. And also the youngest you can be to serve liquor.
Oh yeah, it's 21 in the States to drink liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
weird.
why it's important. Not
Yeah.
because he's weird.
Anyway. Yeah, so we're up to 6 people in the organization, which is like fucking blowing my mind, honestly. Okay, I got 45 people that applied for this job.
Yeah.
10 people I interviewed seriously. I had it down to 3, hired 1. But like I had people begging me for this job. I don't know anything about anything. I'm a dum-dum.
Yeah, we sat on the phone for 2.5 hours
Right before my interview.
before your first interview.
Because I didn't know how to do it. I was more nervous than they were, probably.
Yeah, no, it's not that you didn't know how. It's okay. No, you knew how. So what we talked about is like how to think about interviews,
Yeah.
how to feel about them, how to think about them, what to get out of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the kickoff to my most productive day I've had in a month.
Good. Well, this girl, I don't remember. I was taking notes the whole time, but I don't remember much about the interviews, as you don't.
You never do.
But
That's one of the things we talked about.
one of the things I remember about this girl when I interviewed her, because she had just turned 18 like recently, I asked her, one of the questions I was trying to ask was like, what do you know about the local liquor industry? Like, you have experience with the local industry? And she like pauses for a second. She's like, okay, well, I don't want to wrap myself out too badly, but like I've tried a few of the things, like, you know, like underage. And I'm like, that made me laugh. Not like laugh, but like laugh. Internally.
LOL.
I'm interviewing, right?
Wall.
But I remember making a mental note of that. I'm like, okay, that like
Rule breaker.
because and not only that, but I was
Which
looking.
is a positive.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, for sure. But like not only that, but I was looking for the personality over everything.
Yeah.
Right, because this really isn't a skilled position.
Yeah, she broke the fourth wall on that, and she said, "Well, I'm gonna say some stupid shit on this interview."
Yeah, and it worked. It worked.
Obviously.
It worked. Yeah, obviously I hired her. I thought she was the best. I had a couple other people, but I got the best vibes from her, and like I thought it worked the best.
What was your biggest? To reverse that, what was your biggest turn off?
She wants to study criminology in school.
What does that tell you?
She might be a knock.
She might be a knack.
Yeah.
Fucking knacks.
Fucking knacks. But I said to Zach, my partner, I said we're gonna try and get her salary high enough in the next 4 years that she won't want to work in her field. She'll want to keep working for me.
Yeah, I mean, people are leaving their fields for startups.
Yeah.
People are leaving salaries for startups.
Well, and right now, like her and my other promotions guy Wyatt, they're in a great position where sky's the limit, honestly. Because every step that I take up, there's going to be gaping holes that need to be filled by people.
Yeah.
And that's usually the story of my life, but it's more, but it's more so. Thank you. Sorry, Mom. Just kidding. My parents don't listen to my fucking podcast. But there's going to be holes left by me, like pretty soon. Not pretty soon. In the next couple of years, I'm gonna need to aggressively expand to other provinces, maybe other countries. I'm gonna just need to leave.
Yep.
And start doing that. My day-to-day needs to be managed by somebody. So,
Which is fun.
But any of these people that are working for me right now that want to take that position, that comes with a big pay raise. Because now you're bringing in a lot more value to my organization. Right? So, anyone is in a really good position.
Can you talk about why did you just put in a commission structure for your employees?
Yes, so I just added a bonus structure.
So it's hourly plus bonuses. So
Yeah.
for reference, he was already paying them fair market value and now is paying them more
Yes.
because...
I don't want them to leave.
And?
I had a dream that they were going to leave.
Yes.
I had a dream that all my employees. I think in the dream I had more in the dream I was managing like a warehouse or something.
Right.
It was a dream. I don't usually remember my dreams, but I've been feeling like I'm getting more vivid dreams recently in the last like 6 months. I don't know what that is, but
yeah, who knows?
Whatever.
Nobody
So
knows.
in the dream I was like managing this like warehouse or something, I don't know, and I had like a lot of employees. It's funny that like my dreams are me managing a mid-level manufacturing operation. Like, you know.
Fair.
Anyway, and for whatever reason, like all my employees came in and resigned one after another.
Yeah.
And whatever, I guess it's like one of those dreams where like you wouldn't remember unless it bothered you. You know what I mean? And you wake up and you're like, what the fuck? And then you're like, oh, that was a dream.
But let me say, you handled it properly, because I've seen people that have that same sort of idea where, you know, employees leave, but they turn around and they treat it like an ultimatum. So they turn like a commission structure into an ultimatum rather than a value add.
No, it's a bonus structure. It's not
Right.
even a commission structure.
Exactly.
So
people take that same
I'll explain.
idea and turn it
So
into something bad.
I pay my guys like between 14 and 16 an hour right now for sampling. And so what this bonus structure allows for is that at markets and stuff, they sell liquor, obviously. So the average that they sell is about 4 cases, about 48 bottles at an average market. Like I took the average number between all the markets we've done this year. And my numbers are a little bit off because of COVID, but whatever. So if they sell the average, I cut them extra $20 onto their paycheck for the day.
Yeah.
If they get 12 bottles more than that, so like 56 or 60, 48 to 60, they get 60, I toss them another 20. And if they get another 12, total of 72, I toss them a 30. And then that's the cap. So they can get an additional $70 on their day, which is effectively doubling their wage, depending on how many hours they work, obviously. But, you know, if you're working 6 hours at $15 an hour, that's an extra $70 is doubling your day's wage.
Right. And you did this entirely on top of, without touching their wages.
Correct. Yeah. I've given, like, obviously Ali's only worked for me for a few weeks, and same with Amy's only worked for like a month. I've already given him, I think, 2 raises since he started.
Yeah.
In the last like 2 years, like $1 each time.
Yeah, and in the same space, the best, probably one of the happiest, most content contractors that I know, he did 2 things for his employees. One was you never work weekends.
Okay.
You're home on Friday by 6.
Yeah.
And number 2 is if you finish the project early, every day is a bonus.
Okay.
So obviously his daily expense of operating is, you know, thousands, maybe tens of thousands.
I like that because that motivates people to work
Faster.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he pays out, I think his rate is something like 30% of the money that he saves. So he's still winning big time.
Of course, yeah.
On every day.
Yeah.
But if everyone like works efficiently, solves problems, whatever, and the crews kind of work in their own ecosystem, let's say crews of like 5 to 7 guys.
Yeah.
So if they work out a really efficient system, they all together do a 10-day job in 8 days.
Yeah.
They get paid for like 8.6 days.
Mm-hmm.
On top of day 9, they start a new job at full pay.
Yeah.
So on
So
average,
they're already getting paid from the other one, and
Right.
Yeah.
so he's like they're going 10 to 30% faster than they should.
But are they fucking up?
No,
So
because if
you're getting
fuck
paid
up,
by
if you fuck up, you go back.
right. Yeah.
You don't get to walk away from your fuck ups in
Yeah.
construction.
Right. Yeah.
So
Because it's still goal oriented, not just yeah.
So this guy's got only like 2-3 crews, not a big company,
Yeah.
and he's doing nothing Because everyone is busting their asses to do it right, do it fast, do it well.
Yeah.
Because they're all getting paid well. And they're having a great time. Because, you know what's fun? Winning.
Yeah. Well,
Winning.
dude, I want to keep my guys around. Like, that's the end of it. Like, and if I have to pay... Because, like, I'm having this internal... Maybe we can talk this out right now. I'm having this, like, internal holdback where I'm like, well, someone in their position doesn't make $20 an hour.
Right.
So why would I pay them $20 an hour? That's not what they make. And I, like, saying it out loud, I'm like, well, that's dumb. Just fucking pay them whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, something in my heart is like,
Holding back.
well, that's not free market value. Like, you know what I mean?
It's not free market value, but that's what makes it fun.
Okay.
Is paying above.
Yeah.
Is what gamifies it, because you're not actually paying above. It's fair. Because you based it on real numbers.
Which is why, because, well, and what I was worried about with, because when I got out of the stream, I was just going to be like, okay, fuck it, everyone's getting a $3 an hour raise.
Right.
And then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine for the summer where this is our busy season, but as soon as we're in February, I'm going to be regretting that.
Right.
So that's why I tied it to I guess it is kind of a commission, but it's basically based on performance.
Right.
Because...
But it's fair and it's rational.
Yeah, because I'm taking parts of the money that I profit and giving it to them.
Right. So that 20 an hour is not actually too much. It's rationalized.
Yeah.
But when you look at it from a different way, it's more than they deserve.
But think about it, like with...
But both are true.
If you get the full bonus, you're making the equivalent of like 30 an hour.
Right.
Right?
And that's both fair and also generous.
Yeah.
But that's why it works, because the employee feels the same way.
Yeah. I hope they do. I haven't really got their feedback yet, but...
Yeah, right.
I hope they feel the same way.
The hope is the employee feels like they're getting a strong...
Fairly compensated.
More than that. Better compensated than they earned.
Yeah. Well, because
Because the wine sells anyway.
Yeah. Well, because I don't want them to feel like, you know, I'm earning all this money and I just cut them $30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is like obviously not what I'm doing. It's fucking expensive to run this business, and I gotta pay the government half my money, and we gotta pay to make these products. Like we don't profit that much at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to look at like the top line sales, because obviously they can figure out how much they're selling, and be like, oh, we sold $1,000 today. I'm getting fucking $50. Like,
yeah.
Okay, I don't want them to be, but honestly, if they think like that, then they're probably not going to fit in long term in this organization anyway.
But winner's guilt is a real thing.
Yeah.
Where you pinch pennies, you make it big, you get rich, and you turn around and you're like, oh my god, I squeezed the life out of 1,000 people to get here.
Yeah.
And then you spend the rest of your life trying to give back and feel okay about that. Why fuck that up in the first place?
Yeah. Well, I guess like I just don't want to lose. Like I don't want to fuck up my organization by being too generous.
Right.
Because like I can spend a fuck ton of money to grow.
Yeah, there's a line, and I'll stop you when you hit it. Because I've seen that, what it looks like when people get paid too much, which is hilarious and sad. But when people get paid too much, is exactly the same as effect as it when they get paid too little.
I guess like we have been multiple times, dozens of times, I would say, a fucking bad check away from being bankrupt.
Yep.
Like we have more checks written than the money in our bank.
Yep.
Like I have been at a point where I have to steal fucking soap from a dispenser at McDonald's to pass my health inspection because we can't afford to buy soap. Like I have multiple times been there where I was cents from going bankrupt.
And
so when I think about that, I never want to be there again.
And you don't want your people to feel that way.
I don't want... Well, exactly. But
anybody.
If the entire organization goes out of business, it's not going to fucking help them either.
Yeah.
So, and I'm fortunate, knock on wood, to be doing good somehow.
I'd say good.
I'm selling a lot of liquor for some reason.
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, our sales really didn't go down during COVID,
No.
which I was expecting them to.
Kind of did okay.
Yeah, we kind of did okay. I don't know.
People drink when they're bored.
I'm gonna do like 320 this year, I think.
Yeah.
Which is like not.
If I'm gonna
Nothing.
beat you this year, I gotta bust my ass.
So.
No, it's funny because the turntables.
How the turntables.
Oh, how the turntables. Willows might be borrowing me money this year.
Yeah,
to
that's
get
a
off
funny
the
one.
ground, which
Yeah.
is, it would have happened last week, but you know,
We just got it. Yeah.
deal fell through.
Yeah.
But exciting. Like I've talked about this with my mom the other day. How we're just gonna fucking yo-yo back and forth.
Yeah,
and you'll like pop up. You'll be like fat on cash. You'll loan it to me.
Yeah, 'cause
I'll
I'm-
pop up. You'll be lean. I'll loan it to you, and we'll just like
Yeah, I'm
leapfrog,
pretty heavy on cash right now. Like we're doing okay.
which
I got
is hilarious.
I got more cash coming in than I'm spending.
Which is hilarious
Yeah,
because
because
60 days, 90 days ago,
maybe not 90, but like
100,
6 months ago, I was like not good.
like December, January.
Like before, yeah, which was like, dude, it's July.
Fuck.
That was December was 7 months ago.
Okay. Potato, 6 months ago.
Yeah, we were not doing good.
You weren't doing bad. But
Oh yeah, okay, like
you weren't doing like
$200,000 a year is not bad.
It's not also I'm cash heavy.
I was very cash poor, but we've been able to refinance our debt a little bit and get our interest rates down, and we're more cash rich. That we're burning a lot less,
And also sales have continued.
and sales have kept steady.
Yeah. Like today we bought a dishwasher and I'm like, Zach, there's one for $2,900, and he's like, just paid $39 for something.
Yeah,
He's like, okay, whatever. Like, didn't bother turning around and going back to get that
one of the better one.
Right.
This
like,
one, 2 minute clean cycle.
And in the back of my mind, I'm like,
Excuse?
he literally just said whatever to $1,000. I'm like, this is the same guy that fucking bit my balls off over 10 cents.
Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah.
Man, and I had
Love
to do
it.
it
I
to
love it.
survive.
I love it.
No, you literally, I forget what the context was, but you're like, you guys with fucking money scare me or something like that. Like when we're just like, yeah, whatever, buy it. Like, yeah, well, this is the first time in my life where we're like, what were we building? Where we went to Rona and bought a bunch of shit recently.
The bar.
No, after this. Because the bar we built when I was poor. That's why we were stealing light sockets and stuff. Remember? I mean, yeah, never mind. We didn't do that. No, what were we buying at fucking Rona? Pretty recently. We were there.
Vineyard style.
It was the same time we bought that like saw or drill or whatever that was behind the glass and it was in a box. That was
pallet
weird.
racking.
Okay, and what do we buy to build that? Oh, we didn't buy the bits and shit?
Yeah, fancy,
Yeah.
fancy drill.
Yeah. Okay, so we were putting up pallet racking in my building. We had to buy this drill or whatever, and I didn't even look at the price. We just took it. I'm like, this is what we need? You're like, yeah, we just grabbed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait. Like, that was like the first time I've never been like trying to like, let's just check Facebook Marketplace quick to make sure. You know what I mean? Like,
we did get it for like half price.
yeah, because shit just works out.
Yeah.
When we trust the universe.
Like display model, owner's manual
Yeah.
missing, mislabeled.
And he knocked like half the
product.
price off.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
We just win.
No, because when I trust the universe and I just go with the flow, it rewards me for doing that.
Maybe that's why we have nothing to talk about right now, because we're fucking winning.
Well, okay, here's the thing. We're about, like, it's beginning of July. If you're a fan of this podcast or you know me at all, this is my busy season. Last year we were doing like 15 farmers markets a week. It was like 200 hours a week of events we were doing, which out of the 168 hours, I know there's 168 hours in the week. It's because there were 5 events concurrently on Saturdays. And that was why I had to hire my first employees, was to cover events that I couldn't be in 3 places at once. Summers are my fucking busy season. And yeah, like things have just been kind of going good. Like I go to work and sell a lot and fall asleep.
We got
You
a
know.
bar sink.
Yeah, we're doing.
Dishwasher.
We're still closed. The bar is still closed for COVID right now, so we're doing some renos while it's closed.
Upgrades.
Some upgrades, yeah. So we put in a sink behind the bar, which that's a fucking long time coming.
Hilarious that you didn't have one.
Oh no, I got special approval from the health inspectors. I could use my 3-compartment sink I have in the back, which isn't far away. Like it's 10 steps away from the bar.
But not a good idea when you're
When we're busy.
when you're taking care of a place.
Yeah, when I'm busy, it was dumb. But, and we put in a dishwasher, what we just talking about. But, yeah, so we're doing renos right now while we're still closed.
It's good fun.
The things, yeah, I mean, like, well, I keep looking at my bank. It's like more money's coming in than going out, which is like weird.
Something's wrong.
Well, I keep literally. I'm like, what do we spend? Like, do we have checks written? Like, what are we doing? Like, what's happening? And he's like, no, we just have money. I don't know.
Him being
Zach, my partner.
the money man.
Yeah, I don't really think about that. He knows all the books and everything we have. I don't fucking know anything about anything. I just
If you get the yes or no, thumbs up, thumbs down.
whatever's in the bank account. That's how much we have
Yeah.
in my mind. But yeah, I don't know. And you're
Content as fuck.
yeah. Well, you're between projects right now, right?
I'm between projects. Well, technically, quote, between projects. I'm working for you guys. You guys are actually paying me now, which is great.
Yeah, which is another thing. Which is you did so much fucking free labor for me,
So much.
and now I'm paying you.
Yeah. No,
You're never gonna get any money for what happened before.
No.
Good.
No, it's
I'm glad you know that,
it's lots of favors though.
because that wasn't a question. You're not getting any fucking money.
Money I don't need. Good faith is better. No, I've got enough coming up to keep me excited. I've got not too much happening right now that has got me overwhelmed. I've got enough money to afford a 3-4 day cabin getaway with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Also, I would like 4 beach days this month. I picked up golfing. I don't know.
You're taking much more leisure time than I am, definitely.
I'm literally 30% leisure time right now.
You also live with your mom, so
It's adds to the leisure time.
That's what I'm saying.
Not only because of rent, but like she cooks me food, the grass gets cut.
okay, little boy. Well, I
Like-
live on my own.
I'm content as fuck. So
Yeah.
Willows
Hello.
grinding,
I am.
making money.
True.
I'm having a great ass time over here.
Remember, like, I'm pretty sure I remember episodes of us just being like, yeah, we have low mental health right now. Like,
Yeah.
actually, to be fair, we have these weekly mastermind calls, me, Tyler, and our friend JL and our friend Mitch.
Yep.
We do like a weekly mastermind call. I think we've talked about it on here before. And we do like, everyone does a temperature check, we call it, where we go over like our week's feelings and how we're, everything we did and whatever. And this week I said, this is probably the farthest away I've been from killing myself since we started doing this mastermind.
And I looked at Zach and like, he needs better benchmarks.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm in a great mental health state, but like I feel honestly, a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps me motivated, keeps me not thinking about my
Purpose.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess like a lot of, like, I'm not going to get too sentimental or anything, but like I just feel like maybe working towards something is like, it's almost like my brother dying wasn't for nothing. Like it was like, I have something I'm working towards. I'm not just fucking wasting my time here.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and also at the same time, I'm saying define your success and say, you know what, maybe my success right now is I'm taking enough time to enjoy the sunshine.
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But like,
Don't-
I took the me taking the day off yesterday on Canada Day was me stopping work at 7:30 p.m.
right.
But I stopped work at 7:30 p.m. and we got together and my business partner and we went to my friend's pool and we fucking chilled all night
It was great.
and that was fun. That was something I probably couldn't have done last year. I wouldn't have had enough time.
That's true. I'm also saying for the sake of people that are not business owners or
Sure.
working that insane amount, don't feel guilty for not.
Yeah.
Set your own benchmarks and fucking fulfill them.
Yeah.
And don't feel guilty for doing exactly what you A, wanted, and B, said you were gonna do.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm like, I'm gonna take the evening off, watch Netflix, felt guilty about it. I'm like, fuck that. I'm here because I decided I wanted to and because I deserved it. And also, who gives a fuck?
Well, did we say, now I'm getting intoxicated, but did we say that on this podcast? Or I thought we just, no. That wasn't us. I was talking to James today.
Okay.
My web developer has the building 2 doors down from me. I was hanging out there eating we had a little barbecue, made some hot dogs. Yeah. I was talking to James, and we both said like the productivity we can get in like 3 hours when we want to work is better than 8 hours when we don't want to work.
Absolutely.
Right. So, because I was telling him, he's like, well, so what do you got going on besides like, markets or whatever? And I'm like, well, I basically work 3 hours, take an hour off, work 3 hours, take an hour off, like all 24/7.
Yeah.
That's essentially my excuse me. And yeah, and then we were talking about how like when you actually have motivation to work, you'll be way more productive than if you're forced to like work between these hours. So there's days where I fucking sleep until 2 p.m.
Why not?
And people will, and like my mother would be like fucking lazy, whatever. But my then work from 3 p.m. to fucking 10 is way more productive than I would have gotten if I'd forced myself out of bed at 8 and to go into the office to fucking do work.
Risk taking, creativity, all that. Far beyond what a person gets done in just an 8-hour I showed up day.
Well, because like, if I was like, okay, I'm going to be productive, so I'm going to force myself out of bed at 8 a.m. I'm going to go to my office, sit down with my laptop, and I'm going to work till 4. If I did that every morning, I would fucking get nothing done.
Yeah.
So the fact that I can work at my own pace, doing my own shit, I get more done.
My best day I had this last week was I had a bunch of computer work to get done. And it's creative, it's kind of draining, it's a little frustrating. So I worked for probably 2 hours and I was running out of steam. And you just find yourself, like, you're checking your phone. Instead of checking your phone every hour, you're checking your phone every 10 minutes.
Yeah, I feel it.
And I'm like, okay, fuck it. Flipped on YouTube and I watched 3 videos back to back, like 10 minutes each, on like how to improve your golf swing.
Yeah.
So I walk outside, take my laptop with me, set it up on a little table, and I take out my pitching wedge and I fucking square up and I start practicing my golf swing.
Yeah.
Spent 30 minutes in the front lawn just whacking a club.
In the front lawn?
Like
chipping, like everyone can see you?
Yeah, like without a shirt on, like looking like a bum.
Yeah.
And like I did that for 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm tired of this. Put my club away, sat back at my computer, fucking worked the rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get like...
Best thing ever. Like complete freedom.
Yeah, I'll get like... Which I think is like something that people don't understand is like... We always used to say like activity and productivity are 2 different things.
Right.
Just because you're at work for 10 hours in front of your computer doesn't mean you were productive for 10 hours.
Ugh.
Right?
All you email inbox warriors.
Yeah. Well, you've had more jobs than I have.
I've had more emails than you've had your entire lifetime.
Infinitely.
Ugh.
And...
Did I tell you ever? Kevin sent like...
Your previous boss.
Yeah, sorry. Kevin, previous boss, was trying to figure out like why the fuck everyone was so busy and stressed out. So he's like, I'm going to do run the Google Analytics on emails received, responded to, in-series conversations, chats, hangouts, whatever, everything, video calls. It's all done in one system. I think it was like 40% more productivity than the next closest person in the company.
Yeah.
Including the owners.
Yeah.
They're like, you've done 4,000 emails this month.
None of that surprises me that you're more productive than everybody else.
Right. He's like, what the fuck?
I think I looked at my Google inbox the other day. So, you know when we moved our server over from Bluehost to Google? Mm-hmm. That would have been not a year ago, maybe 7 months ago.
I don't know.
You remember when I did that though?
I got booted off your server, so yes, I remember. Because I had an email.
Since then, I've done like 6,000 emails. So, yeah. Because I was just looking the other day in my inbox for some reason. Oh no, because I'm running out of space. Google was bitching at me. It's like, hey, you only have like 500 megs left of fucking storage. Pay us money.
And on email, that's significant.
No, because it includes Drive too.
Yeah.
But
still.
It'll just start deleting the last emails, which is fine. More or less.
The earliest.
It deletes your earlier. Oh, it deletes your latest emails?
It's like yesterday. It's like,
It starts deleting yesterday's you have 6 years ago. Whatever. But I probably have a bunch of shit in my drive too that I don't need in my drive.
Don't sweat the small shit. Do whatever the fuck you want. Grab a non-such Belgian peach. Get fucked up on a... Oh, it is Thursday night.
It's Thursday night.
Now it's Friday. I was going to say Friday night.
We gotta work tomorrow. Well, the thing about tomorrow is that I gotta receive a shipment. We gotta finish that dishwasher.
We said we're getting up early tomorrow. What we meant by early was we have to be
Before
across
10.
town by 10 a.m.
But across town, my office is 6 minutes away from here. 9 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. You're sleeping on the couch, I assume.
10 a.m. is early.
We're in my house right now, and we're 9 minutes away from my office. We're waking up at 10. That's 9 hours from now.
Early.
Yeah. Well, you wake up earlier than me.
Yep.
Generally. I generally sleep 4 a.m. to 10 a.m.
I'm like 12 to 9.
Yeah.
No, 1 to 9. 1 to 9.
I sleep way less than you, though. We already know this.
Yes.
I sleep about 6 hours. I sleep, about 4 to 10 usually. I'm like, you've seen me in the morning. I'm fucking out of it. Like, I need like a good 10 minutes scrolling in my bed before I can even like be alive.
Move.
See, but what I've been doing recently though is I hit the snooze, but I don't go back to bed.
Yeah.
I hit the snooze for like 10 minutes and then I scroll. And then when the snooze gets off, I'm like, okay, now it's time to get up. So I've been better at that because that was fucking me up. Especially like even back at school, it's like I would hit the snooze and then fucking fall asleep for 5 minutes and I'd be worse off than I was like, before I went back to bed.
Yeah.
But I also I just need to like poop for 20 minutes as well in the morning. Like that's just my, continue scrolling and
Gotta have the morning BM.
read all my emails, whatever. This is like the first half hour of my morning. I cannot be bugged. Yeah. I need to get in my zone.
French press coffee, just.
Okay, I don't drink coffee.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
But
yeah, when I was dating girls and they're in my bed, I'm they're trying to talk about the day. I'm just leave me alone for a sec.
Morning sex.
No, I need. What's my favorite? My favorite line right now. Me and Sophie were listening. What's the song called? I don't remember. There's a song. Google it. You'll probably find it. The line was, I gotta hit it in the morning because I'm whiskey dicking. You can't get hard at night, so he has to hit it when he wakes up. And then me and Sophie both went relatable at the same time. Me and my roommate. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I don't know.
Let's wrap it up with that. Don't be whiskey dicking.
Always be whiskey dicking. You'll be way more productive.
So,
thanks for listening to this podcast. I think we, what we've got to start doing is cut out the first 20 minutes of every podcast because we as we find our footing, but then we find it,
yeah,
and then we're good. The shot hits, and then we're fucking good. But my name is Willows, VOTEWILOWS on everything but Willows. You can follow me and it'd be cool, I guess. Alcohol Beyond This Point is the name of this podcast. Alcohol Beyond This Point podcast on Facebook. Alcohol Beyond This Point, all one word, on Instagram. I also have a co-host.
Tyler Bergen. Tyler_ the builder because I build things.
True. You gotta change your Twitter handle to that as well.
True.
Because I tagged you on Twitter the other day and I'm like, why?
I just lurk.
Just have it though.
Okay.
Because someone's gonna take it.
I'll change it. I like to build. I like to build things.
Sure.
And yeah, that's how to find me. And I promise to post more ASMR making nice things soon.
And if you want to send us a shot for shot time,
Please do.
No, what is it called now?
Shot callers.
Shot caller is the segment. If you want to send us a bottle, send it to 448B Brooklyn Street, Winnipeg, Manitoba, R3J1M7.
No vodka.
Please do not send vodka, but we will take I'll commit right now. Any potable alcohol, potable being the word, you can't fucking send me motor oil. Any potable, like legal to drink alcohol, I will take a shot of for shot caller.
Agreed.
On the podcast if you send it in.
Done.
Thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate it. This has been Alcohol Beyond This Point, episode 15.
It's been a slice.